Ricky, we want to talk
Yeah,
to you
how's
about
it going, guys?
scaling. We know you made that video today
Ricardo.
and all, and the proper time when you're ready to scale and when you're not and all. So I think it's a perfect time for you to chime in.
Cool, great. So who was talking just now?
That's Adam Hummel.
And is that the young kid?
He's no, he's not no. Adam, where are you located and all?
What's that? I'm located in central Pennsylvania. We've chatted online before, Ricardo, I believe. I think I sent you a Facebook friend request and you never accepted it.
Don't cry. Let it out right now. Don't let it out right now. You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. Now the thing is, if you want to make money, you stay on the truck. You stay on the truck for years. Of course, one of the things about my business is that in 18 years, I've never ran any ads. So I don't know the interaction that most junk removal owners have when it comes to running ads or leads or spending money like that. You know what I mean? And it's probably an advantage to me over the 18 years. Of course, it's an advantage to me over the last 18 years of doing this without running any ads or leads. And all I can tell everybody is there's a lot of stuff out there that you shouldn't be spending money on. Junk removal is the same thing. And this is pretty funny because 18 years ago when I did junk removal, it's the same business that it was today when I worked. I went in somebody's house and I picked up some trash and loaded it and they paid me. It's the same business 18 years ago when I first started.
I just want to stop you there for 1 second because I just want to ask you if you agree with this. But the marketing, the way that people are getting to the client is changing. Is that correct?
Okay, so if you want to say that, I'm going to agree to disagree with you. There's a lot of more tactics. There's a lot of more things. Of course, when I started, Google was barely starting out. The Facebook was there, but nobody really listened to it. It was MySpace, to be honest with you. And yeah, I mean, there's other techniques that you can do. I think someone brought up that they're getting paid business off the message groups off of Facebook. And yeah, hey, I look at it like this. There's always going to be some angle to get business. And if you find a new angle, it is great. I do my videos and throw them up on all the social medias, and then I let the phone ring. And the phone rings constantly for me. So I think it's just such an advantage. And I can only tell newcomers that are in this business, don't give up. We are low man on the totem pole when it comes to this industry. Nobody knows who we are. I mean, you want to call a roofer, you know who to call. You want some, a decking laid out, you call a carpenter. But when you need trash picked up, and you can ask 100 people, and out of those 100 people now, these days, you'll get about 10 or 20 that actually know what the junk removal industry is. But if you need your roof done, call a roofer, and everybody will know that. You see what I mean? So as you're growing your business, you're going to find new ways to advertise this business. And I do agree at a certain point what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying, but guys, we need to stop spending money if we want to stay in business. And I want to say another note really quick. We're talking about this market being so saturated and so competitive. The market is not saturated and competitive. When you say that, you're scaring yourself off in this business. What's going on is that there are so many people starting junk removal, and there are so many people exiting this business. And I saw a video with JRA Lee, and he said 80% of junk removal companies go out of business in the first 2 years. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think that number's 10% off. I think it's 90%. 90% of these people are going out of business, and then 90 more people come into this business, but they're going out of business.
Ricky, why are they going out of business? Is it they're spending too much? What is the reasoning?
Easily, I'm going to answer this really quick for y'all too. The fact is that most of these people, they see the YouTubes, they see the Facebooks, they see Andrew, they see me, they see Matt and JoJo, and they see all these people having such a fun time in this business. And the reality is, this business is a tough business. It is a hard business to get customers. To me, it's became a lot easier because of the repeat and the commercials and those contracts and all that bull. But to a new guy, can you imagine a new guy starting out right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex when I have it on lockdown with Frisco, Arlington, Aledo, and DFW? How are they going to make any money? And most people, they're just like peckers. I give them a job here and there, and I give them a job. But just imagine the difficulty it is for a newcomer, a 17-year-old like you had on your channel just right now, to start in the DFW area. I welcome anybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I help them to build a business. But I also know the reality is that in 2 years, they'll be out of this business. And it just won't work out for them.
Hey, Ricardo, can I chime in for a second?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I like a good challenge. So if I come down to DFW and I'm still operating and profitable in 2 years, would that be a success to you?
Oh yeah, I think it's a success. I mean, no. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to take that back. What I'm going to say is this. And who said this question? Who asked this question?
This is Aaron with Shamrock Calling.
Okay. What I'm saying is this, Shamrock Calling, is if you come down here and you survive the 2 years, hey, dude, you have a 50-50 chance to survive to 5 years. And that is very, very tough. But think about this, Shamrock. Think about this.
Yeah.
I've only done this for 5 years. I've done it for 10 years. Wait a minute. I've done it for 15 years. Wait a minute. Yep. I've done it for 18 years. Combined everybody on this video channel right now, how many years do we have in it? Is it combined past the 18? It's a long time. And to be personally honest with you, Shamrock, in a few years, I'm not going to be doing this. I'm going to be caught up in my haunted house business. And I love junk removal, but I know it's a great business, and I'm going to pass it off to Maddie. And Maddie's all hyped up to do it and stuff. But we've made this business so difficult. We've made this business a lot harder than it is, man. You know, I remember making my first.
The thing, Ricky, though, the thing that I have a problem with is when you say like the way that you're doing it, it's just not appealing to me. You know, I don't see myself doing what you're doing, and your pride is being 18 years of doing it. Like, I just look at it as you bought a job for 18 years and you've locked yourself in somewhere where I would be looking in the first year or two to scale and make it run itself. So I'm just like, I'm curious, why do you think that it's junk removal is not scalable, that's possible, or you just don't want to do it?
Oh, no. Okay. The reality is, to hit $1 million, and I think all of us want to hit $1 million in this business. Oh my God, we all want to be millionaires. The reality is that to hit $1 million in revenue, a monkey can do that. A monkey can do that if he pours $100,000 or $200,000 a year into ads. Anybody can do that. If I gave you $200,000 in ads, you could probably, a good chance that you can hit $1 million in revenue. But having $1 million when you die, and there's $1 million in the bank, when you die, when you pass away, and there's $1 million for your legacy to live, that's legendary. That's your family living off the money that you made for. Making that money in junk removal is virtually impossible unless you're franchising like 1-800-JUNK and Junk King. And even right now, I know for a fact, because talking to one of my boys that runs a franchise, that they're down like 40%, 35 to 40% right now. They're hurting. Why are they hurting? They're hurting because of us. Small businesses like us.
Ricardo, Russ
says
everyone should mute you, and he'll bury your ass in 1 year in DFW. And he also says you appeal to everybody with the common sense of a snail's asshole. How do you respond to Russ's comments?
That's great. And, I love Russ because he's my frenemy. You know what I mean? Russ doesn't know, but listen, I remember the first time I had a beer too, if you know what I'm saying. And I think Russ is just having his moment right now. And I'm going to let him listen. I like picking on Russ, and he's like a little brother to me. You know what I mean? But I have no beef against him. I have no beef. When we brought up the fight thing, we knew he wasn't going to fight Andrew. I told you he wasn't going to fight. So he just picks on people. He ain't going to pick on me because he knows he's my little midget. You know what I'm saying? He's my little boy. He's that little dog that I walk with. You know what I mean? And like Chihuahua, and I kick him every once in a while.
I know you can't see the comments, but Russ is being very inappropriate in the comments right now. That it's honestly disturbing and not. Honestly, Paul, you should probably tell him to stop.
Listen,
let me ask you this, because I want to get down to the bottom of this, because I think it's really, I see it bothering a lot of people in the junk removal industry. You're kind of like deflating their dreams and their hopes when you say certain things. Now my rebuttal to you, Ricardo, is it's if you're expecting to come into any business and just make $1 million in 1 year, that's not really, there's not many businesses that you're going to be able to do that with not a lot of capital to begin with. So, as far as that, you just got to learn how to manage your money. You know what I mean? So say you make good money, you make 200,000 in junk removal that goes in your pocket. Now it's what you do with that money. It's how do you invest that money? How do you make that money, each dollar work for you? And that's what I've always did in every business that I've got into. And that's what it's all about. So yes, I kind of do agree with you where it's like, you're never going to get that lump sum in 1 year of here's $1 million. You know what I mean? And I do agree with you with a lot of things, Ricardo, because you do say a lot of these guys have scaled so big that they're actually not making money. They're not being profitable. And I start thinking it's kind of like more of an ego thing with them. So I'm really trying to find out right now what's real, who is making the real money, that holding bowling money, because I want to get them on and I want to hear from them. But the couple of guys that I've seen that are like at the top, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, brother. I haven't really seen with my own eyes, that lifestyle that shows a millionaire's lifestyle. You know what I mean? Right. So I am curious, guys. So whoever's on the other side, who are some of the successful junk removal companies doing it that big?
Guys, Casey from Stand Up Guys owns 15 locations, $9 million a year. 20% margins. He's doing about 1.6 million profit per year.
Okay, and where are they located?
He's got locations all over the U.S. and it's corporate owned. It's not franchise.
I think they hit me up the other day.
Yeah, hit up Casey, man. If you want to talk to a heavy hitter, talk to Casey from Stand Up.
There's so many different ways of doing this though, because Ricardo has his way. He has his way of doing it, right? He's trying to save up for his retirement. He's trying to do all these different things with his business, but he understands his reality. He understands what he wants to do. He has a plan. Now for me, I'm a big dreamer. I'm trying to scale this business. Right now, I'm not trying to get everything into my pocket. I'm trying to scale and grow. And so I'm reinvesting constantly, right? But the thing is to Ricardo's point, that can really hurt me. What happens if something really goes down and all of a sudden this and that, right? So of course, but the thing is like the reality of $1 million business, like, dude, like when you get to being $1 million business, you are technically in the top 5% of business just in general. Now I want you to think about that. All right. The top 5% of business owners, just in general, just breaking $1 million. There is so many businesses out there that don't even come close to that. But the thing is like, just because you have $1 million business doesn't mean you're making $1 million. Like they're like, you want to pay yourself a reasonable amount. Like I try to stick to 10 to 15%. Like that's a good paycheck for me. And then what's left over gets reinvested into my business constantly. But I have a new business. I've been in business for 4 years. Ricardo's been in business for 18 years. He knows what his end game is. He's trying to get to that little point. He sees the light in the sense of these haunted houses. Like there's so many different like tactics and strategies. But the thing is also if you are just starting, like you got to be a dog, brother. Like reality is like most people are little bitches, dude. You just want to cry and complain that things aren't happening for you, but you're not doing enough to get out there. That's the reality.
100%. Yeah.
But you know what I love about Ricky is that he is brutally honest and he doesn't care about, hurting the feelings. He'll just say straight up what it is, but I've been waiting for that person to be like, nah, that's me, bro. You're wrong. I'm the one making that money. I've built my junk removal. And, Ricky's out there every day making these videos, talking shit. And he's talking about, oh, my haunted houses and kind of like, what he's doing. He's pushing buttons on everybody in junk removal. Like, oh, I got my little junk removal, but my real money maker is the haunted houses. And it gets everybody stirred up.
I want to clarify something about that. I'm not, I say the honest truth when I see a talker and not a, and this is something my wife said to me. She's like, Ricardo, you make all these promises, but you don't show me nothing. And she told me that a long time. And I kind of take that kind of lesson and I use it in junk removal. Not only am I going to show you my 9 trucks, my trailers, my 2 headquarters, my haunted houses, but I'm going to show you and then I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to tell you how much money I make. And I'm going to tell you I'm building a house. And I'm going to tell you, hey, that I have 3 containers on my property. But let's talk about a person that doesn't show you anything. And that is somebody like Russ. Show me, Russ. Show me something you have other than your 2 trucks that you have. Show me something, brother. He talks it, but he doesn't walk it. And I think we can all agree on that. I think there's people that love Russ, and there's people like me that I don't really care for Russ. And if he fell off the face of earth, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, I just, I pick on him. That's all I do is pick on him and get him all riled up. And he'll make a comment in a few seconds. And that's one of the reasons why he doesn't come on live, because he can't back it up. He really can't back it up. And I back up everything I say. I love my boy, Andrew. Andrew's always been a friend of mine since he started his industry. He called me a long time ago. I think there's another person on here that's called me a couple of times. Everybody that goes through junk removal has contacted me at some point, and I've given them advice. I do not hide from giving them advice. If you come to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and you catch me and you pass me up, bro, you're a better business than me, and I welcome anybody to do it in the Dallas-Fort Worth. I welcome the challenge. I love competitiveness.
This is one of them I want to talk right now. This is where I want to go. Andrew showed us the opposite. Andrew showed us how to come in real quick, build up right away with Google Ads, scale, go to 2 locations, I think 3 or 4 trucks, and then sell in 3 years. So
2 years and 4 months. Yeah, I sold.
So
yeah.
I mean, he did show the other side, and so he did exactly what you just said. He proved it, and he even had the owner that he sold Jedi junk to on to, like, vouch for everything. And obviously they're still in talking terms, so everything went good and smooth with that. So what's your answer for guys like that? Because Ricky, the reason why I'm trying to get down to the bottom of this, brother, and I'm hoping that you're wrong, because I want to come in here and not waste my time. I want to scale. I don't do anything small. If I'm looking at a business where I'm just looking to be on a truck for the next 18 years and that's my grind, I'm good at the businesses I have, and I'll pass up on this. You know what I mean? But I watch guys like Andrew, I watch other people in the industry, and it gives me the belief, like, all right, bro, if you go and you put in the groundwork for 2 years, get your systems right, start hiring employees, and build it like that, it can be scalable. So Ricky, talk to me, talk to Andrew. Is there something we're missing here?
I think, me and Andrew, we've had talks about this in the past. He knows how I feel about it.
Yeah, we've had lots of talks.
Andrew was a unicorn. And I'll keep it as that, because I am your friend, Andrew. Yeah. And the thing about it, listen, it's impossible for me to sell my business the way it is right now. And there's 2 reasons. And I'm going to
right now for your business.
There's 2 reasons why I wouldn't sell my business right now. First of all, it's something that I'm going to leave my son. Second reason is the fact that who's going to pay me what it's worth? Listen, I can die right now. And this is no lie, guys. I want everybody to listen to this. I could die right now, and my phone, without doing any more videos, without doing any more content, will keep on ringing for the next 3 to 5 years.
So what's it worth? Your business what's it worth? So, hey, I'm going to ask you a question, Ricardo, right now. What would it take for me right now to get your bit? Because yes, your business is not ran how I think it should be ran. I could turn you into. How much would you sell your business for right now? Right?
Oh, dude.
But Ricky, we need to know what's part of the business, because in my eyes, you own brick and mortar. You actually own the warehouses. Yes. You have it. So, I mean, you actually do have a business to sell.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think this is
down there with 100 cash.
Ricky, name the price. I got a freaking blank check right here, right now, bro. I'm about to fill out with your name on it. What's your price right now, my guy?
I would say this. $100,000 isn't going to do it. $200,000. I would say $500,000 would do it. $500,000 and I would walk away.
You can do more.
There is a value for your business. It's just you're not. Anyways, I can go.
If you didn't do the $45 fridges, I'd do the $1 million, but I can't do
it. So my dad owns a plumbing company, and he just retired. And his he ran his plumbing company. He was in it, operating it. He hired employees throughout, but at the same time, he was always owner operator, right? He just retired, and then he sold his business to one of his friends, one of the local businesses that's around town, right? There's so many different ways of doing that. But even that, like, like if you're expecting to get millions of dollars for your business, it's just not how that works unless you're really growing something crazy.
Yeah.
He's doing like, what, maybe like $500,000 a year, like on a good year, he can fluctuate. And he sold it for 250 grand. He essentially took like a small lump sum, like 30, 50 grand, and then the rest of it gets paid out through the months, throughout the years, which is interesting, right?
Yeah,
Because like,
risky.
is 1-800-GOT-JUNK just coming through buying brands? I'm not really seeing that. But at the same time, like, how do you get out? Like, how would Ricardo, just like all of a sudden open up his doors and being like, hey, I'm gonna sell this, there's a lot of questions.
First of all, I want to make it clear. Hypothetically, I would never sell my business. It's getting passed down. But if I had to, $500,000 for me to walk away, I would walk away. The great thing about it is that you're going to make that in 1 year. And it's kind of sad because
In revenue.
I'm walking away. But I also know the reality. And this is the reality. I'm going to tell everybody this. Having $500,000 in the bank is something that's nearly impossible for every junk removal owner. Okay. I'm going to say it again. Having $500,000 in the bank is nearly impossible for junk removal owners. Now, if you own a haunted house, I will tell you it's very possible, but I
disagree.
I disagree with that too. Now, I do agree that it's nearly impossible, but the thing is like if you're a $1 million business, you're in the top 5%. So like the thing is already 95% of people are out.
Right.
So like small amount of people are going to get there, but you don't get rich owning one McDonald's. You get rich owning 10, 12, 15 McDonald's. Like you have to scale it, you have to grow it. But the thing is like, there are new ways of doing it. There's Facebook marketing. There's, okay. So just like what you were saying, right, about marketing, I was just doing taxes, not too long ago. I spent $120,000 in marketing. That's a lot of fucking marketing. Holy shit.
Yeah.
When I saw that
in my
number,
pocket.
I was like, holy crap. But the thing is like, we produced about 720,000 in revenue. Now, does that mean that I made 720,000? Absolutely not. But like I paid myself a good 10% plus, and then the rest of the whatever went through gets reinvested into the business. You got to reinvest back in the business, and you can't like save if you're not stable or able to save. You got to be able to do it. You can make $1 million a year and never save a penny.
Right.
I think you're either in profit mode or growth mode. And obviously, growth sucks cash, like Mike Andy says. I don't know if you guys listen to him, but I mean, there's a lot of guys doing big numbers, but at the end of the day, they're barely profitable or they're paying themselves a very low salary.
Most of his franchises that he franchises are losing. I see all his videos. I think they're great because they're always losing money. I love those videos. I think
he has a lot of valuable information, though.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely did that. Now, who was talking? Who made that big old rant? Who went on? Who was that?
Dan's Holloway.
Dan. Oh, Dan, my boy, Dan. The Dan Coffee and Donuts. Am I correct, Dan?
That's right.
Hey, buddy. Okay, so the reality is that a lot of people are growing. A lot of people are expanding their business in junk removal. I wish them all the luck in the world. But I'm going to tell the reality. It's difficult. If you're not a dog, like somebody said, you ain't a dog, you ain't going to make it, man. And 99.9% of us, we ain't dogs, man. We ain't dogs. And here's another one. Here's another stat for you. Only 1% of businesses make it through 15 years. Holy shit. Hey, guys. How y'all doing? Because I'm that 1%. 15 years. 1%. I made it to 18. Running the same stupid, uneducated junk removal business in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Isn't that crazy?
Here's the thing. I don't want to do this for 18 years.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, my thing is,
I've been in the marijuana business probably about 30 years. I mean, so.
Okay, and here's another one. My father-in-law, he worked at AT&T for 35 years. He retired. They gave him a ring and a pension. That's great. God bless his soul. A lot of people retire from the postal service for 25 years. Great pension. Congratulations. See, we'll do it we will do it. Us Americans will do it because of the influence of working for a big company, but we won't do it ourselves for our own business, which is just a reality fuck to me. I'm like going, Jesus, I've been only doing this for 18 years. Our postman's been in the war for 25 years. And I'm like, I'm thinking, Jesus, I make so much more than a postman, but he enjoys his living. And I'm to that point in my business that I'm kind of laying back. I'm going to expand one more time. We're expanding to Oregon in the next couple of months. And, really, I'm not going to do much more, man. I'm cool chilling. I think the reality, I saw the sunset. You can see the sunset here, but I've seen the sunset of my business in the haunted house business. It's a way easier business. It's tearing up my body. I'm 49 years old. I probably need an operation on my shoulder and probably my left knee sooner. And, I'm to that point. But I will burn this business of junk removal on the internet to the ground, and I will tell the realities. And when I say burn it, I'm going to tell the realities of this business, what they are and what they aren't.